Alright, we're in Clip Studio Paint. We're working from my 100 pose prompts. You can find the links to this in the description. The next action is shopping. So what I'm doing here is I'm checking off shopping, and I'm going to approach this drawing from the concept of what does shopping feel like. And my initial reaction, for whatever reason, was kind of a drudgery type of not really happy about having to go shopping. You can read into that what you will, but the point is that I had decided by now that I wasn't actually going to settle on this particular pose, because although I wanted to draw a funny picture of Gordy, unhappy about the prospect of going shopping, I'm just warming up. Gordy would be more than happy to go shopping. For a variety of reasons I don't have time to go into, he would be happy about this. So this funny looking pose here is just me warming up. And as soon as I'm done with it, I'm going to move into a completely different pose. So anyway, I'm really getting a kick out of this face, but I can't quite figure out his mouth, even though I thought that first one there was pretty good. This here, now we've got kind of like what Gordy's mouth actually is more like, because you got to fit that tooth in there, and I don't know. I guess this is more me. I might have been trying to copy 1940s style with that other one. I used to dread doing feet, but I really like doing them now, especially cartoon feet. Cartoon feet are easy. Real feet are hard, but I still kind of like doing them. Anyway, here he is. This is like my warm-up drawing. And I played with the idea of, okay, maybe I'll ink it. So what I always do is I take my rough sketch, and then I draw over it with pencil, virtual pencil, and then I separate that, and then I put it back onto the sketch layer. So I'm contemplating inking this right now, but you know what? I'm not going to ink it. I'm going to shut down Clip Studio Paint, and I'm gonna just go to bed or whatever it was I had to do. And I'll pick up where I left off, tomorrow or whatever. Now the thing is, something very interesting happened. For the past 7 or 8 years, I've been using a Wacom 12WX. This is the premier introductory level Cintiq from way back in days of old. And it served me very well. I've enjoyed it. It is a fantastic product. It's 12 inches. I've recently graduated to the XP Pen Artist 22E. Now, this tablet is a fraction of the cost of a 22-inch Cintiq, and without going into a big review about its pros and cons, suffice it to say that for my money this is a great product, and I am very happy with it. And so, what used to look kind of like this now looks a little bit more like this. So now, let's get back to Gordy. Now the first thing I'm going to do is say goodbye to melancholy, grumpy, disheveled Gordy. And I am going to, now that I have this new product, this new drawing surface, I'm really trying to get much more serious. I've got a lot more room to get serious. So I'm going to use the perspective tool in Clip Studio Paint, and I'm going to adhere to the laws of perspective, or at least I'm going to attempt to. And that is why this video is going to get a little bit, well, I'm not going to finish this drawing during this session. I'm going to go into something else. So what is that? Well, you see this box? This is not a box, this is a cube. One of the things that makes it a cube is that it's three-dimensional. We can see its entirety. We can see right through it. This is the fundamental building block of all drawing, and if you don't want to draw cubes, you don't want to draw. So that sounds harsh, but I know because I'm talking to my former self. So I'm going to try and squeeze Gordy into this box. No, this is a cube. squeeze Gordy into this cube using the rules of perspective. Now, first of all, proportions all off. So the first thing I have to do is get a proportion stick going. Now I can get somewhere. Now at least he's in proportion. He's kind of walking, right? His shoulder is down and stuff. That's because of perspective. Perspective did that for me. So here I am starting over again because I'm thinking, well, that's not really what I want to see, or I don't think I'm following perspective properly. You can see how we can see through the cube, but notice the point is two of the cube's sides are facing us. So what is the point of this cube in the back? Well, you're supposed to use that with perspective. So this is why now I'm drawing cubes, more cubes. I'm trying to fit Gordy into a world of cubes. Why is that? Well, I'm telling you guys, you've got to get started with cubes. You've got to fit your subjects into cubes. Not just cubes, but ellipses and things like that too. But they're all based on cubes. So we're going to get into that in future videos. Right now, I think I can kind of slow down because all I want to say is learning perspective is interesting because here I am starting to get really serious with the cubes. And I am, discovering once again why I approached this drawing this way in the first place. Because I kind of like, getting these cubes arranged in a three-dimensional space. Now, that kind of looks cool, right? Even though it's really sloppy, but you can see what I am now doing with it. I'm actually making a half-hearted attempt to build out a shopping cart from this basic structure based on reality. That's the idea. Now, I'm not doing a very good job capturing the reality, but the fact of the matter is that because this shopping cart is somewhat based on actual perspective lines, this is all coming out fairly decent. But I have to spend more time with this. I have to take my time with this. So future videos are going to be me actually working with Clip Studio Paint and talking you through the process of how to use the tools, because I do know how to use Clip Studio Paint's tools, but I do not have a lot of experience practicing the art of three-dimensional form. This is really important because even if you do just want to draw cartoons, and I settled for that for years, but my cartoons were limited because I don't understand three-dimensionality. I don't understand perspective. And the more I understand it, the greater the improvements to my cartoons. And, I also ultimately want to draw realistically. So I'll see you in another video when we talk about Clip Studio Paint and all the wondrous tools it has to offer in helping you discover how to draw and paint wonderful illustrations. Not just mediocre, not just half decent, but really good. Much better than this. Haha.